Choosing your horse on the step is just the worst feeling in the world. You know, there are no fences. It's this endless green wilderness, rolling hills normally. And last year I lost my horse a couple of times, and that feeling you get when the horse is just heading off into the distance, leaving you, you know, just standing there or lying there, is just the most dreadful feeling. Why would someone want to do this? It's an incredible experience. It's an incredible race. The concept of this race is astonishing, and there are not that many places in the world that you could do it. Mongolia is one of the very, very few, if the only place you could do it. The reason for that being that every nomad family has a herd of horses, and they are spread across this vast, vast landscape. And the adventurers, the people who run the race, contract different families to supply the horses for each of the stages. So it offers you this little view into the world centuries ago, and in this case particularly Genghis Khan's world and the messenger system that he set up. So it's an absolute privilege to be able to do something like this in the era of the motor vehicle. I don't think anyone who does the Mongol Derby for the first time realizes quite how physically demanding it is. It is relentless physical punishment for 8 days if you're in the leading bunch, 10 days if you're not. And if you don't have the mental strength or the physical fitness, it will simply wear you down. Choosing a Mongol pony is basically the key to the race. You ride 25 horses in the course of the race, and basically it's first come, first serve. So if you're the leader, you get to choose from the horses that are tied on the high line first. And you need to figure out your criteria to choose that horse. Sometimes you get it right, and sometimes you don't. And every rider has a different set of criteria for choosing a horse. I had a very bad last stage on the penultimate day. Slept out. There were some complications around coordinates of the horse station 23, and I ended up sleeping in the field with my horse tied to a post in the middle of nowhere. And I thought I'd lost the race. But in the morning when I got into the next horse station, I found that I was the first person in, so I had this rush of elation to find that I was still in the lead. But I had some time penalties to serve, and during that period both the Irish and 2 other riders came in, and I left that horse station with probably a 10-minute lead and 80 kilometers to ride. And from there on the racing was very, very tight. Got out of the next horse station just a few minutes ahead of the Irish lads, and they caught me 20 kilometers from the end. My horse really wasn't a solo, wasn't capable of doing that distance on its own faster than they could, because 2 horses travel faster than one, always, because they sort of pull each other along. So I hooked up, I made sure that I made contact with them when they came past me. My horse immediately perked up, and we rode the last 20 kilometers together. Most of it very slowly. We were just chatting, we knew we were well in the lead, and I think we were just sussing out what the situation was, how were we going to play out the last couple of kilometers. We knew there would be a race to the line, and none of us were talking about it, but we were good friends. We'd spend a couple of nights together, and we had a big mountain pass to go over. We went over the mountain pass, down the other side, and a long flat plain to take us to the finish. And I said to Richard, the Irish lad who eventually won, so what's it going to be? And he said, why don't we just start cantering and see what happens, which is what we did. And from about 4.5 kilometers out, it turned into a flat chat gallop. I wasn't there for the experience. We were there, both Joe and I were there to win.
and we did everything we could to win, and you know, when it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.